I don't use Facebook Marketplace anymore. Not because I had a bad deal. Not because someone wasted my time. But because one afternoon, I answered a listing that looked completely normal, and by the time I realized something was wrong, the person selling the dresser already knew my name, my car, and where I lived. It started on a Saturday. I had just moved into a small apartment, and I was trying to furnish the place as cheaply as possible. I needed a dresser. Nothing fancy. Just something with drawers that didn't smell like old cigarettes or collapse when you opened it. I found one listed for $20. Solid wood. 6 drawers. White paint, a little chipped around the edges. The kind of thing people sell when they're moving and just want it gone. The seller's profile picture showed a woman in her 30s holding a dog. Her name was Megan. The listing said, "Need gone today. Porch pickup. Cash only." That didn't seem strange. That's how half of Marketplace works. I messaged her and asked if it was still available. She replied almost immediately. "Yep. Can you come in an hour?" I said yes. She sent me an address. No greeting. No extra details, just the address, then, text when you're outside. The house was in a quiet residential neighborhood. Not rich, not rundown. Just normal. Single-story homes, trimmed lawns, basketball hoops in driveways, plastic toys near porches. The kind of neighborhood where nothing looks dangerous because everything looks too ordinary to question. I got there around 4:40 in the afternoon. Still bright outside. That's part of why I wasn't careful enough. Bad things feel less possible when the sun is still up. The house at the address was pale yellow with a brown garage door. There was no dresser on the porch. No moving boxes. No sign anyone was packing. I parked across the street and checked the listing again. Same address. Same house number. I texted, "I'm outside." 3 dots appeared right away. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, the reply came, "Garage." That was it. Just one word. I looked at the garage. It was closed. The driveway was empty except for a black trash bin near the side gate. For a few seconds, I sat there with my hand still on the gear shift. I thought about leaving. Not because anything was clearly wrong, because nothing was matching the version of the situation I had in my head. Porch pickup meant porch. Not garage. Not go around back. Not wait outside a closed door. But then I told myself I was being dramatic. It was daylight. There were houses everywhere. People were probably home. I had already driven 20 minutes. So I got out. As I crossed the street, the garage door started opening. Slowly. Not all the way. Only about 3 feet. Enough for someone to duck under. I stopped near the driveway. A man's voice came from inside. "Dresser's back here." I couldn't see him clearly at first. The inside of the garage was darker than it should have been. The daylight stopped right at the opening, like the garage swallowed it. I said, "Is Megan here?" There was a pause. Not long. But long enough that I noticed. Then the man said, "She's inside with the baby." That answer should have made sense. It didn't. There had been no baby in the profile photo. No mention of a baby in the listing. Still, I didn't know what to say. So I said, "Okay." The man stepped into view. He was older than I expected. Maybe late 40s. Gray hoodie, cargo shorts, bare feet in slides. He had the casual look of someone at home, but his face didn't match it. His expression was too focused. Like he had been waiting. He looked past me first, toward my car. Then at me. "Silver Honda?" he asked. I looked back at my car. "Yeah." He nodded. "Easy to fit. Back seats go down." I didn't like that. Not because the question was strange by itself. It made sense for furniture. But the way he asked it felt less like he wanted to help and more like he was confirming something. I said, "I think so." He smiled. "You came alone." There it was. The first question that didn't belong. I heard it clearly. Not as small talk. As information gathering. I lied immediately. My brother's on his way. He's meeting me here. The men looked down the street. Then back at me. How far out? I didn't answer that. I just said, "Can I see the dresser?" He lifted the garage door higher. The metal rattled loudly. Inside, the garage smelled like cardboard, dust, and something chemical. Paint thinner maybe. Or cleaning solution. There were boxes stacked along one wall, but not moving boxes. They looked old. Soft from humidity. Some were taped shut with layers of yellowed tape. A lawnmower sat near the back. A plastic sheet covered something large on the floor. I didn't see a dresser. The men walked inside and motioned for me to follow. It's behind this stuff. I stayed at the edge of the garage. I can wait here. He turned around slowly. His smile faded for half a second. Then came back. Can't see it from there. I just need a quick look before I pay. He stared at me. Then he laughed under his breath, like I had made things difficult. Marketplace people, he said. I forced a small laugh. But my hand had already moved into my hoodie pocket around my keys. That's when I heard a noise from inside the house. Not a baby. Not a TV. A single thump. Then silence. The man noticed that I heard it. His head turned slightly toward the door that connected the garage to the house. The door was closed. There was a towel shoved along the bottom of it. That detail hit me slowly. A towel under a door isn't normal unless you're blocking smell, light, or sound. I looked at the man again. He said, "Dog." The profile photo had a dog. That should have made the explanation easier to believe. It didn't. Because no dog barked. No claws scratched the door. No collar jingled. Just that one thump. Then nothing. My phone buzzed in my hand. A message from Megan. "Are you here?" I stared at it. Then I looked up. The man was standing 10 feet away from me, watching my face. I typed back, "Yes." At the garage. The reply came fast. "Don't go in." My stomach dropped. For a second, I couldn't understand what I was seeing. I looked at the profile photo again. The woman with the dog. Same chat. Same listing. Another message came in. "I'm not home. Who is there?" I felt the air change around me. Or maybe I just finally noticed how still everything had become. The man said, "Problem." I locked my phone and put it in my pocket. "No. My brother's almost here." He took one step toward me. "You said that already." I stepped back. He noticed. His face shifted. Not angry. Not scared. Annoyed. Like I had stopped following the script. I said, "I'm going to wait in my car." He said, "Dresser's right here." "I'll wait." "You drove all the way out here." "I know. You don't want it." I changed my mind. For a few seconds, neither of us moved. Then the garage door began to lower. Slowly. I looked up. The man wasn't touching the button. His hand was empty. The remote had to be somewhere else. Or someone else had pressed it. I backed away fast. The bottom of the garage door came down with that heavy mechanical hum. The man stepped forward as if he was going to duck under it. I turned and walked quickly toward my car. Not running. Running felt like admitting something. But I was close. Very close. As I reached the street, I noticed another car parked 2 houses down. A dark SUV. Engine running. Someone was sitting in the driver's seat. I couldn't see their face because of the windshield glare. But I could see their head turn as I passed. I unlocked my car before I got to it. Got in. Locked the doors. Started the engine. My hands were shaking so badly I missed the gear shift twice. The man stood in the driveway, half hidden by the garage door. He didn't chase me. He didn't yell. He just watched. That was worse. Because he didn't look surprised that I was leaving. He looked like he was memorizing it. I drove away and called the real Megan from the marketplace call button. She picked up crying. She said someone had copied her listing, used her photos, changed the address. She had already gotten messages from 2 other people asking where she was. I asked her if she knew the house. She said no. Then she asked me something that made me pull over. Did you give them your phone number? I hadn't. At least, I didn't think I had. Marketplace messaging doesn't show your number. But then I remembered my profile. My first and last name. My college. An old public post from when I moved apartments. A photo of my car from a road trip. Things I had never thought about as dangerous because they were boring. That's the problem with boring information. You don't protect it. I reported the listing. By the time Marketplace responded, it was gone. Not removed by support. Deleted. The profile disappeared too. The yellow house was still there when I checked Street View later, but I never went back. I thought about calling the police. I even started writing down what happened. But the more I wrote, the less useful it sounded. A fake listing. A man in a garage. A message from the real seller. No crime I could prove. No license plate. No name. Just the feeling that I had stepped close to something and left before it could close around me. For weeks afterward, I checked Marketplace constantly. Not because I wanted furniture, because I wanted to see if the dresser came back. It did. About a month later. Same white dresser. Same chipped paint. Different seller name. Different neighborhood. Different price. This time, it said, free. Need gone today. Must pick up alone. Too heavy for one person, but I can help. I reported it again. Then I saw the last photo in the listing. It wasn't of the dresser. It was blurry, probably uploaded by mistake. A reflection in a garage window. A silver car parked across the street. My car. From the day I went there. I closed the app and deleted it. I changed my profile picture, locked down everything I could. For a while, I convinced myself that was the end of it. Then 2 weeks later, a message request showed up on Facebook. No profile photo. No mutual friends. Just 4 words. Still need a dresser. I didn't answer. I blocked the account. But sometimes I still think about that thump behind the garage door. The towel shoved underneath it. The dark SUV watching from 2 houses down. And the way the man asked if I came alone before he even showed me what I was supposed to buy. I don't pick up used furniture anymore. I don't meet sellers at houses, and if a deal looks too easy, too cheap, or too urgent, I leave it there. Because sometimes the item isn't what they're selling. Sometimes it's the reason they get you to come.